The ModernJeeper Show, the show about Jeeps, Jeeping, and Jeepers.
Well, hey, Modern Jeepers, this is another episode of the ModernJeeper Show with me, Matson from Metalcloak, and Mr. Modern Jeeper Corey Osborne.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Good. You?
Good, good, good. And as always, Jessy, Rockstar Jeep Girl. Hey, girl.
Hi, guys.
Hey, I gotta say, I like your hoodie there. Our buddy Aerolids. Right? Yeah, good stuff they've got going on, huh? What a simple product.
We're representing today.
Oh, we are. And we got Raceline. Nice, nice. As everybody knows, Raceline's a long-term supporter of the ModernJeeper Show and Metalcloak. Aerolids, our buddy Gabe over there, a fantastic product. Again, simple product, simple idea. It's like anybody listening to this show that wants to be in this industry, a simple idea can go a long way. I mean,
yeah, very true.
Totally.
And honestly, it's simple to manufacture. It's simple to create. It's a simple idea, and it's something everybody needs.
And I tell you, from being able to represent whatever your whatever your mantra is, or if you have a brand you represent, being able to have an insert inside the Aerolids, the enclosure,
right?
It's pretty awesome.
Everybody who sees pictures of Jesse's rigs, you see it. It's a big Metalcloak, purple Metalcloak going across, and
that's right.
Great.
I mean, I get lots of messages on it, so.
And it's cool. It's actually probably cooler than having a windshield banner because it's something different. It's up there and people see it and check it out. And it's like, oh, that's cool.
It draws your attention. Like
Right. And again, solves a problem that everybody has.
Right.
Which is like the essence of the, I think that's my goal for 2021 is to solve the problems that people have.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to solve the world's problems.
All of it.
It all starts with some coffee.
Interesting. Solving the world's problems. It turns out today there's a lot.
Yeah. I can't keep track. I mean, come on. For everybody, all our listeners, we're recording this on Wednesday, January 6th, which is a historical day in the process of our government and transferring over the reins of power to a new group. Yesterday was a very historical and unprecedented election in Georgia. One that I think will go down in history as being questionably prescient or not. And for all intent and purposes, unless something changes, on January 20th, we're going to have a completely different government in this country of ours, completely different government with a completely new set of rules. And, I don't want to get political because this is a show about resolutions, but we'll have plenty of time to talk about that over the year. But it's going to be interesting. The future is interesting. 2021 is interesting.
You know what? It is. And despite everything that's going on in the world, I'm really super excited. Like, I don't know, something happened. New Year's January 1st showed up, and I think it was important for us to just kind of go, you know what? Last year is over. And even if this year was exactly the same, it's time for us all to kind of adjust and make this year what it needs to be for all of us. Like I don't know. I'm not
you inspire me with an idea. You inspire me with a thought with that. We entered 2021 with a certain point of view. Like what was 2020 with a certain point of view, what it was going to be like. And then it was drastically changed on us. We didn't have any control of that. It changed. At least entering into 2021, we already have a sense. We're not, our postulates, our goals, our dreams for 2021 are based on the current reality. And there's not much more they can just drastically change on us. And it could happen, but that would actually hurt our ability to achieve those goals. So I think a lot of people out there making resolutions and making goals and looking at the vision of the future are doing so through the lens that we just lived through in 2020. So
absolutely. I mean, we were still able to go out and talk to a lot of people. We were able to go to a lot of events that, people are still wanting to get outside. And I think that's so important for the off-road industry, is that we all still focus on still making all of that happen we can sit back and we can do the woe's me and go, oh, here we go, another year, it's going to be hard. You know what? Last year was hard, and we came through it, in my opinion, very successful. So, we've done some articles on ModernJeeper.com regarding land use and how to be involved, and your Jeep clubs. We're working through a lot of permits this year, and all of those aspects of us being able to go off road and doing it the right way. And maybe that is the new normal. And if that's the way it is, I'm totally okay with working with the powers to be to enable us to go do the things that we love and stand behind the things that we like to do and make that happen.
Absolutely. Well said. And it's interesting because there's definitely people that are looking at what the new government to be or all these problems and go, I'm absolutely not going to comply. Right. I was having a conversation today and saying, our goal in life, and it's simply human nature to flourish and prosper. We want to flourish and prosper under no matter what circumstances it is. So going through 2021, we have goals, we have dreams, we have things we want to do. We want to go out and do these events. So you simply work with the system that exists in order to achieve your goals and dreams. It is fine and dandy to call up arms and fight against a system and say that that's your goal, but maybe that is your goal and dream. And if that is your goal, then more power to you. But if your goal, like here at Metalcloak, is to continue to have people employed, to continue to support families, continue to grow something for other people to enjoy, then the decisions you make are paramount to those goals and dreams.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
one of the things in the last couple of months that I've learned, kind of maybe late in life, but it is that life is pretty short. We have a pretty short fuse. And if we're not doing everything that we enjoy doing, then we're missing out. So we can sit, like I said, we can kind of retract and stay in our comfort zone. But we need to all step outside of our box. Even going, Jesse and I we went down and spent a couple of days in Las Vegas with some friends, Colin from Max Tie Downs and our friend Laura. And we ran around and it was a lot of fun being in Vegas for New Year's. I've not done that in a long, long time, but it's stepping outside of our boxes and going, you know what? I'm going to make this the best day that I can. Our events, my focus this year is to make our events the absolute best that they can be. Every experience that they get with us, it's no different than people that get on the CTI trailer. And there's this expectation of, we're gonna solve all the world's problems by me getting your Jeep on the CTI trailer. Maybe we won't solve all the problems, but maybe we can help you with some of the issues you're having with your Jeep. Again, all of our business partners, we're all in this together. So if we go forward with the attitude that we can do better, we can make it better, I think it will be better.
Absolutely. Well, that's having that positive outlook on life, right?
Yes.
Pessimists tend to see a pessimistic world, and they end up experiencing a pessimistic world, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Optimists tend to experience an optimistic world, and again, a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you wake up in the morning and say, "God, it's going to be a shitty day today," it usually is.
Yeah.
You set your own agenda. You set your own life.
That's right.
So, hey, let's talk about 2020, specifically Modern Jeeper. You posted an article of some data. Like, share with our fans, like, where are we at with the Modern Jeeper Show? How was 2020 for us?
It's interesting to me that we have come as far as we have. The podcast that you and I started a couple of years ago now, we're going to have our 100th episode.
Oh,
yeah. We're gonna for our listeners, we're gonna skip next week. We've got a lot going on, but it's a kind of a special thing. So we're kind of in that preparation mode for our 100th episode. So Jesse and I are going to travel out to Sacramento, We're gonna hang out with all the folks at Metalcloak, and we're gonna do our 100 episode, 100 episode, 100
That guy did
episode
100 episodes.
um, from actually from California.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I'm excited.
so
It's
the-
how long
the
has it been since we've seen
stats-
each other? How long has it been? Like, when was the last time you came through here?
Rubicon,
Rubicon.
June,
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
So it's been a
Yeah.
long, yeah, that's a long time. Dang.
a
So
little
we
bit
could do
ago.
that. We could do a live episode. We'll tell
Live
everybody the
episode.
purpose of the live episode in a little bit, but the live episode, it's going to be when was that? Wednesday? January
Wednesday,
20th.
January 20th.
Wednesday,
Yes.
January 20th. Live. Guys.
That's right.
Live at youtube.com/Metalcloak. Live episode, 1 p.m. And so it's going to be a lot of stuff involved with that. But for all of our fans, you get to actually watch us stumble through a show.
Yeah, to do it live, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, you know, we have some big shoes to fill because, you know, Del Albright and I did the Metalcloak Live every year for this particular event. And we BS and fill up an hour and a half very quickly. So, you know, you and I can do that. You Jesse and I can need to BS and fill up an hour and a half easily.
For sure.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, we do that every week. So,
But
amazing.
in 2020,
Mhm.
we put up 3,300 minutes
Wow.
of us,
Of
which
content.
is scary.
Right.
Yeah.
And we didn't have as many guests in 2020 as we did in 2019, huh?
Well, and again, 2020 was one of those challenging years, right?
Right.
So many of the folks we had on our list, and you know, scheduling got in the way, and well, people being at home got in the way, and yeah, it was interesting, but the statistics wise were pretty mind blowing, and I think that this is a kudos to our listeners and our followers. You know, over 28,000 downloads of the ModernJeeper Show, which is pretty
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and we've had some really good guests. We've had some really technical episodes. Man, there's been a lot of really good information for all of us that are Jeepers and Modern Jeepers, and yeah.
Well, that is cool. Sorry, hitting a couple of buttons around here for our listeners watching me wondering what I'm doing is to turn down volumes and things because I didn't do proper prep. Yeah, we don't have we have a sound room upstairs, but for some reason I just never do that for the show. Like maybe I should start doing that, like actually set everything up where it's just in that properly equipped studio.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll start getting hair and makeup and
That's right. That's right. And then we arrive now. We'll be like, well, Jesse, you can do that for Corey, right? Do his hair up a
Right.
little bit,
Yeah.
little makeup.
It's
Yeah.
possible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. It's possible to make
No,
him look
we should
better.
just do all Star Wars characters. We'll just dress up.
Oh, I saw the greatest little post on that. It was, what was it? It was it was on LinkedIn, and somebody posted that I told my daughter to grab her mask before we went to the store, and she's wearing a Mandalorian mask.
Perfect.
Totally would do it.
Absolutely,
Perfect.
totally into it. Star Wars. I don't. Is
Yeah.
everybody? So, are you guys all caught up in Mandalorian?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. So can't
Yep.
do any spoiler alerts because that's too bad because these people are listening. But man, I'm curious what next year is going to be.
You know, so we were talking last night about all the different streaming services. Oh my gosh. Like, and what, it's kind of funny. Yeah, we don't need maybe paid cable or satellite TV anymore, but well, what, we have like 4 streaming services now
Mhm.
to get all the shows you want to see?
Right. Well, it's
Huh.
funny because that's actually on my list of resolutions this year is to find a way to cut the cord. I'm getting closer. I think I'm getting
It's
closer because
easier.
my wife has always been the binder because she wants to have access to her shows that she likes when they're happening. But
Right.
lately, we don't have the time to watch the shows
Right.
when they're happening. So I'm like, well, she's watching them later anyway. So
It's
maybe
more
we can finally,
convenient.
just
It's
cut the cord.
cheaper.
It is, except but What are we doing? This is the resolution episode, and we're talking about
Streaming.
Disney Plus and streaming and stuff. This is for all of you. This is the first time you listen to the show. This is the way it goes. Okay, we go all over the place. We try to find our way back to a path, but random is random, and jeeping is jeeping. So, getting back to the jeeping. So, how many downloads did you say we had in 2020? 28,000.
28,400 and plus.
Wow. And that's over how many episodes we do?
51.
We did 51 episodes. So we only missed 1 week.
1 week in the last year. That's crazy.
That's I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have thought we'd missed like 2 or 3 weeks. But only 1 week that we
and it's interesting to me is that when you set your mind to do something, and we put this out there, we're going to do it every week. And I thought definitely there's going to be some weeks that you're gone, I'm gone, we can't get it done. For our listeners out there, it's an event every week to get this done. And at the beginning of the year, I was doing a lot of the post-production type stuff. And then once we went to video, Matson has taken over all of this video creation for our YouTube channel. Which takes a little bit more time. And we wanted it to be, I think it's funny because I've gone back and looked at some of the episodes, and it's definitely been an evolution of sound, of picture, of we changed a lot of stuff over the last 98 episodes.
Right.
So to try to get it to be the same and similar and have there be some sort of people could actually hear us or see us, that's been a huge undertaking. And so kudos to you, my friend, for I know you spend a lot of time, our listeners and our viewers out there. Matson's a guy that I get the email that the Buzzsprout processing has finished and been completed at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. So
right.
he does all this editing for the video side and then sends this thing up to Buzzsprout, and it takes a little while for it to process. So I'm sure he falls asleep for about an hour or so, and then it's right back at it. I just got to kind of go, yeah, good job everybody for making this happen for 100 episodes.
Well, and we do it for the passion. And one thing you brought up is an important accomplishment, the fact that we have gone video now, and every episode is video as well as it. And I'm always amazed by the number of views that happen on the video. Right. Now, most people drop off real quickly once they see my ugly mug. But,
well, they see his mug and they're like, I'm out.
Hey, what the heck is this thing? I mean, we have such a great intro. It's like the intro to the show is just fantastic. The Jeeps going through, and then they see us sitting there and they go, oh man, this is lame. But no, it's just kind of cool. It's flattering that people have this on. Some of the things we've heard this year are people that this is my Thursday thing. If when we do miss an episode, it's a problem. It's a complaint because. What we had the guy from Ricky at Jeepers Den, one of his customers, saying that he likes to mow his lawn. So if you're out there, and I forget what your name is, but thank you so much.
Right.
Mow his lawn to the Modern Jeeper Show, and guys that commute to it, which has been interesting this year because a lot less people are commuting. Our listenership has gone up, but a lot less people are commuting. So it makes it harder. I know my commute is sped up rapidly. So when I'm listening to podcasts, I get 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, and thankfully the Gladiator, and that's fantastic system, simply plug back in and get CarPlay, and it starts right back up where you left off next time you drive someplace. Have you done a trip with your Gladiator yet? Have you done anything with it?
Nope.
Nothing?
Nope. It's been sitting in the garage now for almost a month. We moved it? I backed it out of the driveway and then put it back in the garage.
Oh, you have snow out there, right?
It's starting to melt. It's pretty cold though. It's been sunny days, but I don't have license plates on it yet, and the plates are expired. So waiting on all of that registration process thing.
See, it's kind of that. I actually have license plates for the Gladiator from Oregon, but haven't put them on yet because I'm going to change bumpers, and I didn't want to go through the process. So thankfully, I still have dealer plates on. So yeah, I'm not getting too hassled, but at a certain point you go, oh, okay, it's been way too long. Way too long.
Right.
Yeah. Besides, I got to actually find the plates. I don't know where they are. They're just at someplace in the house, someplace. Kids probably took them, probably threw them as a Frisbee over the fence to a neighbor's house or something.
Well, I was thinking about last week's episode, and the great folks that we are able to have conversations with about what this next year is going to look like. Last week we had Andrew Hoyt, Rick Payway, and Larry McCrae, and kind of their visions of what 2020 was like and their predictions for what 2021 is going to be like. We had them on the beginning of 2020, and it was amazing at how close some of their predictions were. I'm curious now. It's like, well, everybody's still pretty positive, and I think 2021 has a lot of potential. So hopefully,
right.
Yeah,
well, it's interesting. Like we were talking, from that episode, just the way things are going to begin. And what's the first thing well, you have the winter event, the winter 4x4 jamboree is the very first event of the year, right? Which will be interesting to see. That's where's that at?
That's in Hurricane, just outside of St. George, Sand Hollow State Park.
So it'll be interesting to see how they manage that event, right?
Yes.
And under what COVID guidelines they're doing, and then pretty much after that is King of the Hammers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
King of the Hammers,
like 2 weeks after that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just crazy. It's you were talking to some people, and it seems like everybody's moving forward with the idea it's going to happen, but there seems to be kind of a little sixth sense behind them that it could be canceled at the last minute or changed dramatically.
Yeah, it seems to me that a lot of the racers are, of course, they're dedicated, they're driven, they're ready for the event to take place, and they're planning as if it will. But it's odd to me that those comments are made that they're planning as if it will happen. I'm guessing it'll happen in some way, shape, or form. It's almost like the point of no return now, right? So whatever it looks like, who knows? It may not. Again, I don't think this year is any year for a spectator to be out there unless they just want to see how dysfunctional maybe we can be as a large group.
Well, it's great to be out there, and I know a lot of people use this as like a great event to go out, and desert dwellers love the desert. I mean, it's if you're not a desert dweller, if you're not into that game with the RV and stuff and the big LED lights and want to go out there play, honestly, King of the Hammers is better off online streaming. You get more out of it and more enjoyment just watching it online. But if you are a desert dweller, and obviously the 50,000 people that go out there every year are that, they go out there with their UTVs and their Jeeps and everything. But if you're just going out after curiosity, this may not be the year to do it. It may not be the year to go as a curious attendee.
We've been going out there for a number of years, and Jesse was looking very forward to maybe even co-driving this year. And there was a lot of interest and a lot of talk at the beginning of the year, this last year. And we thought for sure that was going to probably happen this year. But man, this year is definitely, for the racers that are heading out there, kudos to Dave and the whole Ultra 4 crew for being able to pull off all of this. I mean, it's talk about a lot of moving pieces. We're having to deal with that even on a super, super small scale, going through the permitting process in California, where, you guys are under a stay-at-home order. So permits and things like this have been pulled and are all suspended. So for Dave to go out and go, you know what, we've got to make this happen. We'll be as careful as we can. Wow. That's a huge undertaking. I can't even imagine.
It is, especially when it's, we've heard stories, things get canceled very last minute. Everything's planned up. Well, Andrew talked about that with their Expedition 1 event.
Right.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you watched the video on that, but that was pretty cool. I threw some clips of that into our event or our show last year or yesterday. Last year? Was it last year?
Last year.
Yeah, that was last year. It works.
Last year. So
our last show on episode 90, what was that? 97. Gosh.
8.
90. Well, that's right, 98, because we're 99 right now, right? Episode 99.
Something like that.
Yeah, well, it's got to be if the next one's 100. So, math,
Math
let
is
them
hard.
teach me. I went to public school. Yeah, so it was like, it was pretty, him having had at the last minute cancel an event, change it dramatically, replan it, and then do something different with it. But again, the video that was shot by the crew that was with him was pretty cool, and it looked like a great event.
Yeah.
It's who knows? We'll see. I know that Dave's put a ton of money into it to make it happen. And as Larry was saying, something like $800,000, and just to be able to pre-buy the tests that everybody can have a instant COVID test going in. But we'll see. And I'm going to watch it online. It'll be cool to watch, and we'll do it and follow it. And the schedule is completely different this year, and the trophy truck's out there. And but then what's after King of the Hammers? What's the next? I'm looking up, by the way, at my calendar board here, which has all the dates up there. In fact, I'll move the camera over there, and they can see right there. And that's actually sheets this year instead of handwriting it all. I just took the sheets out of the ModernJeeper event calendar that are supposed to be delivered today. So,
I think that after KOH, really, we've got Death Valley right around the corner.
Right.
That's true. Right after KOH is Death Valley. So now you guys are staying home for KOH, right? Or are you going? You going to try to go?
We're staying. We're staying away.
Unless somebody gives me a call, then we're staying.
Any of our Modern Jeeper listeners out there, if you know somebody who needs a co-dog, please reach out to Jessy at Metalcloak.com.
And that's what I've told everybody else. Everybody's like, "Are you coming?" I'm like, "Look, with everything that's going on, unless somebody calls me up and needs me, we're just going to stay here."
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, that is it. So listen, we went through, we had a fantastic 2020, relatively speaking, right? I mean, we had a good time. You guys got a lot of wheeling in. I mean, would you think compared to 2019, do you think you wheeled more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A lot more
for
wheeling.
Sure.
Yeah. And then, but you still I was surprised, you still put in 36,000 miles of travel.
Yeah, we were on the East Coast a handful of times. We still had events that were taking place that we were able to go out and visit with some people. We did a lot of jobber stops. Beginning of the year, kind of get a feel for what was going on across the country before even a lot of states really shut down. But no, I think that I think 2020 was a I don't know, a changing off-road year. I think a lot of people went, "Hey, we've got some extra time. We want to go wheel."
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it's all about anyway, right? We all have these projects. We've all built these Jeeps. We want to spend time with our families, and we maybe don't want to do it in our, 20 by 10 apartment or whatever they've got.
Right.
Yeah, we want to go outside. We want to go wheel. We want to go explore. And I think 2021 will be a very, very good year for people going, you know what? Instead of us going and seeing our friends or what, let's take the family and let's go on a Jeep trip.
Right. I think so. We already started this year. It's been, it's 6 days into the year, and we're already seeing a phenomenal interest level, right? Messages, the message levels, the phone levels, everything going on at our end of just people inquiring about product, inquiring about new things, about what they can do. A lot of interest in the overlanding product lines, and yeah, you're right. It is definitely a push that is happening, and I think people want to get out more, and I think they've realized that life is not spent indoors.
No, we're not. I think people are they're getting antsy. They're willing to push that limit, and for the folks that have reached out to Jessy and I and have said, we've heard it both ways, right? We've heard it, hey, you guys are doing great, and it's good to see you at events. And then we've heard you guys are part of the problem, and why aren't you staying home, and why aren't you being careful? you know what, we're being as careful and as safe as that we can. Um, we aren't breaking any laws. We're not doing anything wrong. We're exercising our rights to be outside and enjoy life.
You're part of the problem, Corey. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know.
You
and
are.
we're wearing masks where it's appropriate and everything else.
Absolutely.
We're
You're not supposed to be
staying
exercising your
safe.
rights. That's not what this is
Yeah.
all about. You don't get to exercise your
I know,
rights.
but we're still safe
Yeah.
and appreciate everybody that's around us. But we do, you've had lots of comments of they don't understand what we do and how we're handling ourselves out there. So we handle ourselves very professional and appropriate. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the best you can do. You do it as a respect for other people.
right.
I don't want to throw a mask on and walk into the store and have to wear a mask when I'm shopping, but
all
we
do.
do out of respect for others.
That's right.
And that is the challenge. That is the weakness we have as humans, I think, that allows the governments to do and facilitate more and more controls. But again, we're getting political. This is the resolution episode.
You know what? This next year, if I have to have little cones or little stickers on the ground every 6 feet for people that want to get on the CTI trailer,
Mhm.
I'm okay with that. Like,
Right.
and if you're afraid, then don't go out to the event. But we will do whatever we need to do to make sure that people are comfortable and safe.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
all there is to it.
Well, it's an experience. We got to give people the best customer experience we can, right?
That's right.
And we just through our shop, we just put down decals onto the floor in certain areas and certain workstations to help people understand social. And it's all just part of being responsible under the
right.
current system. And as soon as we
Yes.
can, we will rip those things up and throw them away.
Yep.
But for now, they're there.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, Corey didn't bring his new toy up here either.
What?
My
New toy?
Your new toy.
New
We have a few
toy.
more, but yeah.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
So you
Go
go
get
go
it.
grab that.
What did
One
you
of
get?
one of our good friends and fellow modern jeepers, some folks that we've done they've came out here to Colorado and spent a week with us going through some of the mining trails, and we kind of took them out as our test run for the Colorado adventure.
Nice.
And we've met these folks at numerous parks, and they've made it out to a few events and whatnot. So we got a box in the mail today.
Oh, they sent you the Jeep.
Well, I have 2 more coming because I ordered some too. So
Nice.
yeah,
Oh, this is awesome.
may
So
have
that
to
is
give
awesome.
one away, right?
It's
How many
still in a-
pieces?
yeah, maybe-
How many
maybe
pieces
we'll
is
do-
that
We've
kit?
got 3.
Maybe we'll do a giveaway.
Right? I
Ooh.
ordered 2.
Well, bring it with you to the
There you
to
go.
100th episode, the 100th episode giveaway, and it's
Right?
yellow too. I mean, how perfect is it that it's
Yes.
yellow?
Oh, I know,
Right?
right? I mean,
I know. Yeah, like just they could have chose any other color, and they chose yellow. They must have
Yeah.
consulted with you.
yeah.
What
Pretty cool.
how many pieces is that kit?
600 and it's at the top.
665.
That's a 30-minute job. Are you a Lego guy, Corey? Did you do Legos?
I did.
I did the more complicated stuff. I never was just like the blocks and that kind of thing. I actually liked some of this stuff.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
I've
That's
stepped
cool.
on
That's
many
more.
a
That's
Lego.
like that is not real. That's the technical stuff. That's the small pieces. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah,
you got to
so-
find a way to. That doesn't have a motor though. It's not one of the remote controlled versions of Lego, right?
No,
So you have to find a way to put a motor in there
for sure.
and modify it.
Christian and Kay, his wife, sent us these, and I just realized that they're rated for ages 9 and up. I may have to wait a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you qualify. You could get help from Baby G.
Yeah, right.
Right. So okay, so as a resolution episode, we all have everybody out there. Some people don't do resolutions anymore. They just make their little wish lists and things like that. And I like doing resolutions. They're more guidance for how I want to live my life in the next year, right? And they're just vision for it. I'll kind of go over a few of mine. You guys have some of yours, but like as many know, I'm very much into biohacking diets and that sort of thing, and just seeing what works. And so I started out in was it 2019. I did my first 7-day fast. I did 3 months of that. It's 7-day, a 7-day, a 7-day, and then various 5-day fasts afterwards that year. And I was mainly doing keto. And part of it was just trying to figure out certain things about my blood work and stuff that was coming back that I wanted to try to solve. One was cholesterol. So last year, again, I started the year with a 2017 or 2009. That would be 2020. Gosh, I'm just way all over the place. You guys will understand why in a second. My 2020 year with a 7-day fast, and ended up going plant-based. Did a little bit of vegetarian, then went totally plant-based for the year. Interestingly enough, the numbers came back, a blood test at the end of the year, where my triglycerides are actually up. My HDL LDL ratio is up, which is not good. And so ultimately it's like, yeah, it did not go the direction it was supposed to go. Because back in 2019, they were telling me, yeah, cut back on cheese and meats and stuff to lower your cholesterol. So I did. I went dramatically back, and it did not help me in those numbers. Overall, there are some numbers that are better, but it actually did not improve across the board with the various blood tests. So I'm experimenting again this year. I'm going to do a little bit different. But again, the reason why probably I've got brain farts going on right now is I'm in day 6 of my 7-day fast, which ends tomorrow.
Jesus.
So
2
so
days for me was
that's
like,
why you guys see I'm drinking. This is hot tea. This is hot coffee, which by the way, you can get a lot of energy out of a single cup of coffee when that's the only thing going in your body.
Yeah.
turns out.
I did the other night. I had to write up something. We just hired a new guy on Monday to handle some stuff with our Amazon channel, and I learned about it last week. So Sunday night, I had to write up a complete job hat, everything you needed to do to be able to do the job, right? So it was pretty much it was very detailed, pictures, all this kind of stuff. I think I started on that, and again, I was on day 3 of the fast then, and I was drinking coffee. I think I had 1 cup of coffee. 6:30 in the morning, man, I was still wide awake. I was good. But now I'm experimenting with keto, but keto Mediterranean, which is more fish, pancetta, that sort of thing, the Mediterranean foods, cheeses, and playing with that. So I'm gonna play with that. I got heavily addicted to carbs this last year, so I'm gonna cut. The whole thing is to eliminate those carbs. I mean, I was coming home every night and eating tortilla chips and dips and bean dips and puffs and all these stuff, and I think it just that probably contributed to it. But I want to. My goal is, again, just experiment and see if that helps, because I want to lower inflammation. I need to be healthier. I mean, I'm 50 years old, and I've got a 4.5-year-old, a 3.5-year-old, and an 18-month-old. And it bugs me sometimes that I have pains in my body, and I have to tell my boys, no, don't jump on daddy's leg. Right. I got to tell it's like, I got to get beyond that. So for me, it's, again, experimenting with the diets, experimenting with the food intake, doing regular blood tests to see how that turns out. And then working on that and helping to exercise more, and do things like I was just out there doing the stairs with one of these rental steam cleaners, right? The small ones you got to lift. I was doing my stairs. Well, not an easy process when you're doing the stairs, but I just did that. I only have 13 steps, right? Of course. And I was going down and doing that. Later that day, my left knee blew up to the size of a softball, right? The bursa sac inflamed. So water in the knee, all that. And of course, I'm not the type of guy to just go down and say, here, drain my knee. I've let it kind of normally go back to itself. But it's that kind of thing. You go, oh man. And all of a sudden I can't play with the boys because I can't kneel down or because I can't do things. So I want to try to find that. So my resolution this year, again, on the diet thing, is I'm going to try this year as a keto Mediterranean. So see how that works. And I go, last year with the entire year plant-based. This year we'll go the entire year. Now that does mean that since I'm back to it, because everybody's got to know, actually, I didn't do the entire year as a plant-based diet, because starting on Christmas Day, we had tri-tip, That was that tri-tip and shrimp was our dinner on Christmas Day. So I was okay with that. So I've been eating meat since Christmas, but I'm going to go into more fishes, have my occasional ribeye because I just love a good cut of ribeye,
Yep.
and do it. So we'll just see how the next year goes. But that's my health goal for the year. That and just regularly working out. My wife and I are on a plan, a workout plan, just getting in there, doing the push-ups every day, doing the sit-ups, doing all the basic workout that just keeps the body healthy. And there's that old thing, if you don't use it, you lose it. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I've lost a lot of it. So I've got to rebuild it.
Well, so I've got a couple of thoughts, and you made me remember a number of things. So 10 years ago, I used to get a yearly blood test, and my ex-wife used to just get so upset with me because I ate horribly,
Mhm.
like literally fast food all the time.
Mm.
I can, if it's a 3-day-old chili dog,
You're good
sign
with
me up.
it.
And I ate very poorly, and my blood tests would come back stellar, super
Nice.
healthy. And
What
she'd
blood
just be
type are you?
like, You don't have even had a vegetable in 2 years. Like, how is that
Well,
even possible?
what is your blood type?
I don't know that.
Oh, I would bet you're an O,
Yeah,
which
I'm
is a
O
carnivore.
negative.
You're what?
she's O negative.
Yeah, carnivore. I would say with that type of thing, because that says a lot about the acids in your stomach. The O
Gotcha.
type has more acids in the stomach, and therefore it can handle the craziness of the
Well,
food.
it's funny, and I was very active, and I've always been fairly active, but over the last year, so interestingly enough, I got on a scale today, this morning,
Oh, nice.
and I have a dry erase board that when I do get on the treadmill or if I do something, I write it down.
Ah.
It's just something. Well, there's like 6 entries on it from last year. So I looked back and I actually had my weight from not this November, not 2020, but 2019. I've gained 1 pound in a year and 2 months.
Wow. And that's with being very fairly sedentary.
Uh, I still don't feel like we eat very well. We eat a meal
Eats
a day.
better.
I'm trying to eat better. So, resolution wise, my resolution, you brought it up too. You had a keyword in there and you said you were going to try.
Mm.
My resolution, my keyword for all of my resolutions is to try.
Mm.
I'm going to try to do better. I cannot any longer go, I'm going to do this because that's too solid. I'm going to try harder. So by that I mean I'm going to try harder in all aspects of my life, and everything that I do, I'm going to try and do it better. I'm going to try and eat better. I'm going to try and recognize the people in my world better, and I'm going to try and be nicer to me because I don't give myself a lot of credit. I don't, and I think a lot of us do the same thing. We're very hard on ourselves, and we think that we're doing horribly, or we think we're just, we want to do this but we didn't do it. I wanted to make a check mark next to this item today but I didn't get it done, and I take that to bed at night and I go, wow, so I failed today because I didn't make this check mark. That's not fair. And I don't think we're fair to ourselves to say, you know what, we can try to do better. We can try to go Jeep more. We can try to go off-road. We can try to clean up our email. We can try to, we can try to plan better. But that's all we can do is try. And I think that's important. I think we need to give ourselves more credit for the things that we don't accomplish. But you know what? we live another day, and I don't know. That's all I got.
It's absolutely true. I think that's amazing because yeah, I use the word try just out of habit. It's like you try to do something. As many of you know, I procrastinate. Procrastination has been with me since I was a kid. In fact, my cousin and I had a B&B Incorporated. Procrastinators Live On was our little thing when we were teenagers. We actually had pencils made with that. Procrastinators Live On. That was I've always been a procrastinator. What that also means is, and part of that is because I do my best work under incredible pressure. And whereas you can't really have that incredible pressure every day, I do my best work when I'm like, it's got to get done. I'm going to go on it. I'm going to work on it all night. I'm going to play my music. I'm going to just get it done. The reward from that, the dopamine produced from that reward feeds this desire to not be a grinder who just works on things that need to be done over time until it achieves. Because there's no dopamine boost on that. Right. It's from that pushing through and getting it done when nobody else could do it and have the resulting product be well received. Right. And so that for me though, is I'm going to try, and this is part of the other thing, is I'm going to try to be a little more organized this year. And for me, that's organized in just in the space. Like you guys, my garage, Corey would probably have a heart attack in there. Okay. So let's put it this way. I got a couple of new garage door openers from our buddy Jacob Pacheco, and many of you may know Pacheco VP Racing. It was one of the racing teams. Ben Veroza and Jacob Pacheco had VP Racing, which was a TJ, very well built. They did a great job. They ended up winning KOHEMC at one point.
Right.
Sold the Jeep to Baby Jeep Racing now,
Baby
right?
Jeep. Yep.
And Jacob Pacheco's business is commercial garage doors, and his brother does a lot of the installs for homes, but that's what they do, garage door openers. So I have a couple of the garage door openers that, because I had really old ones. I have 3 doors on my garage, and I have the really old ones and then one newer one. So I might replace that, but the really, really old one's loud and funky. Well, one of them broke. Kids broke it. So I got one of these lift masters that actually go on the wall. So you don't have the bar going across the top. It goes on the wall and it just grabs it and rotates it up. Well, I could have had Jacob come over, and he was more than willing as a buddy to come over and install 2 of those for me, right? It wasn't that I wanted to install them myself. It was that Jacob is a very organized guy. And if you were ever by their pits at King of the Hammers, everything is in its place. I mean, every bolt, nut thing, and that's just his obsession. I told him I wasn't going to come on by because he would be incredibly upset. He would just be like, he couldn't handle it. There wouldn't be room for him to walk around. It just, the garage is, and part of it is we have a lot of stuff. I keep telling my wife a lot of kids stuff, like, let's get rid of it. In fact, Saturday I'm doing a dump run. If some things that she wants to sell on Facebook Marketplace end up in the truck, I apologize later. But there's a lot of stuff I just got to get rid of, and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go through on Saturday and do it. So for me, it's organization of the space because you don't need so much stuff. I think clutter actually is mentally.
It weighs. It weighs on all of us. All of the stuff weighs us down. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely. I mean, my kids are very fortunate that we're in a position in life where we can buy them things. But I was talking to somebody today, and I think my kids could survive on 1/4 of what's in their closet, right? And on a 10th of their toys. I think we give them too much, and they have too much. There's no reason my son has 10 pairs of jeans, right? It may be that he soils a couple a day, but it gets dirty in them, but that's fine. You don't need that much clothes. You don't need that much stuff. So part of it is organizing space, cleaning up the space, organizing my life a little bit better so that I can have more time for the kids. And I'm working on that. It's a challenge because I go to work early and I'm here late. And so
with my mom passing away, I had a 13-yard dumpster delivered to the house.
Wow.
It was about, I don't know, it was close to full. Maybe there was 7/8. Well, let's go 3/4. It's probably 3/4 of the way full when I just ran out of time, and they hauled it away. But I filled that with just stuff, stuff that wasn't donatable, stuff that was just it was just clutter. It was just things, and it makes me crazy to come back even to my own house and look around and go, somebody's gonna have to do the same thing here. So
He's looking at my shoes. That's what it is.
yeah, I'm looking at her shoes mostly and her closet. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think we just collect all of these things that we think are important, yet what they do is they just weight us all down. And as Jeepers and as avid outdoors people, you would think that we never left the house.
Right.
And maybe there's this fear of we have to keep all that in case we never get to leave our house. But that's just not the case.
Well, and I'm not an accumulator of stuff as much as I'm an accumulator of memories. And
Yes.
I keep a
Yes.
lot of, I have a storage unit and there's a bunch of banker's boxes. And it's like every little business I started or every little thing, or I have all the graphic design work I did for clients over the years, just so I had samples, right? And stuff I never touch, but it's like, there's part of me that wants, well, I have to have a legacy. And someday when I'm gone, people are going to want to know, what my life was about, because it's going to be important.
Turns out no.
No.
Yeah, turns out no. But I have those stuff, and I enjoy going back through those and
Right.
reminiscing and looking at like, oh, that was cool when we did that, and blah blah blah. And
That's been the hardest thing is we don't want to get rid of something that we maybe later go, oh, remember that. But you know what? The stuff that we keep is really for ourselves.
Mhm.
It's not for anybody else. Nobody
Right.
else wants to see
Nobody
the
else
things
cares.
that were important to us. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, it's that what you just mentioned. Like, what you've created is stuff that people have to deal with. Right.
That's exactly right.
Is
So
that you
yeah, I
want
mean,
them to deal with? So, but then you also, a lot of the other stuff I keep like in my garage, because I have this a habit. I don't know if the right word, but um, as kind of that Boy Scout attitude of always, but what if I do need this bolt?
right.
Right? Because
Yep.
I grew up with I kept all the scrap bolts. I kept all this stuff because sometimes I just have to jimmy rig something, and I'm a master jimmy rigger. I'm
You'll
not
only need it if you get rid of it.
right.
Yes,
Exactly.
Guaranteed.
totally.
Exactly. I got cords that I don't need. I got stuff, just all the stuff that I know that as soon as I get rid of it, I'm gonna need it. But
Yep.
I'm in a position of life where I don't really need to keep that stuff. I can buy a new one if I need to, right?
Yep.
But then I kick myself on the butt. Go, oh man, I just need that thing that I was just looking for to just be able to do it. So a lot of that stuff in the garage is that lights I've bought, and like, well, this light fixture could be useful at some point,
Right.
so might as well keep it on the shelf. Yeah.
It's it was interesting. My mom was a bargain shopper, and she kept and she bought things that were on sale, whether she needed them or not, and they were always at a huge discount.
Mm.
Glues, tape, paint. It turns out after about 15 years, none of that stuff is useful anymore. It's either dried up,
Yeah.
it's hardened, it's just and it would frustrate her because she'd be like, well, that's stupid, why do they make this stuff? I'm like, well, because you should buy it when you need it.
Mm.
And most products in our whole world are best bought when you need them. They don't
Right.
last. Things
Right.
just do not keep very well, other than Jeep parts. Jeep parts.
Right.
Jeep parts
Right.
will always be useful.
Well, it's interesting because I think the younger generations are more into that world, like because there's so much abundance, because
Yes.
there's never any lack of thing. The younger generations are more into only having what they need. I mean,
Yeah.
take drinking wine. I mean, drinking wine over the last decade or so has become, maybe even longer, has become the idea of buying a bottle and putting it in a cellar and holding on to it is passe. I mean, it's why so many
Right.
more wines are coming out with screw off tops, because the idea is to enjoy it now. Don't wait. You're not putting it away for later. Just get something and enjoy it and use it now. And then we have guys like me who still has an iPhone 7 because I can't think about getting rid of this. I don't want to get rid of this. I want and get the new stuff. But it is. So part of that for me. So organize life, organize this, organize things for the kids, just better organization so that we can spend more time with the kids, and organize work too. I will try to organize. Yes. Good job, Carrie. Try to organize it.
Just try. That's all we got to do is just try.
But set goals too. Gamify your life. And I say gamify, I don't mean like gamification. There's gamification and there's gaming, right? There's designing something around the idea of a game, or gamifying your life. And I think games by definition are good because they bring in pleasure, right? There's a whole pleasure that occurs when you play a game. Something to be fun must have a pleasure content to it to be really considered fun. Hit those pleasure moments. So kind of gamify your life too. Try to do something, but give yourself some rewards. Gamify it. Make it interesting that if you actually achieve it, you're rewarded. I'm doing a lot with our kids now, trying to gamify their life. Like, okay, what's important to them? What makes them excited? You know what? A quarter goes a long way. I can get a lot of activity out of my kids when I say, all right, guys, first one who gets this done gets a quarter. Dude, now that'll end up becoming $1 at some point, and then $5 and then $50. Dad, bank it. What you do it. So but I'm trying to find ways to gamify their participation in our life, right? And so that they have more things good. So try, but set up rewards for yourself that when you do it, you're actually driven to do it again and again and again.
Yeah. It's how many of us have bought a Jeep part that they've wanted for a long time. They wanted to make an upgrade. They bought it. The box comes, it goes into the garage, and there it sits. And they're going to get to it. They're going to do it. And then, it's a week before Easter Jeep Safari. And oh my God. And no, now I can't get it done myself. I got to call a shop. Well, and then your local shop is like, dude, we're 2 months out. Like, oh, well, but you had to have it and you bought it. We're so hard on ourselves, and we accumulate things. We need to do a better job of organizing our world to go, you know what? Because I tell you what, when that part comes in, if you make the time and you put it on, that dopamine rush of getting something done, that check mark, it's
huge.
It's huge, and it feels so good. And all of a sudden you're like, man, I did that myself.
Right.
And I got it done, and I have time. But no, we put ourselves into these small boxes that we can't succeed. And I think that's unfortunate. So this next year is going to be all about making sure we're more prepared, and we're going to try and do a better job of that. I made a post on my personal, it's my business page on Facebook, under Corey Osborne. And I said, you know what? I would not put my own name, nor would I put Metalcloak's name on any of our Modern Jeeper adventures if these trips really weren't all that in a bag of chips. So I never want somebody to have signed up for one of our trips and gone, that was
dumb.
Right. Because that would be personally detrimental for me. So I'm very focused and making sure that, you know what, we've had a lot of really good positive feedback from our adventures. We've always had good feedback from us going to events and getting folks on the CTI trailer and helping them out. So 2021 will be all about making sure that we're still doing that to the best that we possibly can. Right.
That's awesome. That is awesome. For us here at Metalcloak, 2021 is going to be about just continuing. We're improving our processes, getting more efficient with what we're doing, and getting to that point where we can ship stuff out in 1 to 2 days, right? That's the real goal, getting to the point where we have everything we need. We have the people. We have an incredible crew of people here. I mean, they're just amazing what we've got going on. But it just comes down to processes. And so we actually have weekly meetings now about processes, purely about processes. How can we improve things? How can we achieve better results? What new things will we improve? We have a couple of suggestion boxes throughout the building now too, for employees. And we're rewarding employees for ideas. Like, you give an idea and we implement that there's a reward for you. Because we want process improvements, even product improvements. You want, hey, there's a way we can do this, or we can way that better. And I think 2021 is going to be that focus, ways that we can expand, do more products, but get them to you as our customers quicker.
Well, we're all a team, and even externally, us being a part of the Metalcloak team, we're a team. I wouldn't be able to do what I do as successfully without Jesse's help, and she really brings a whole different perspective to what we do at events. And you know what? We're a team as the modern Jeepers of our industry. Yeah, all of this stuff, without each other, we can all go out and drive around in the dirt and have a good time. But when we get to do it with each other and make it more, I don't know, memorable, create those memories, create those experiences with people who share like desires and sharing that passion for the off-road industry, we're all in a big team. So I think that we just have to keep 2021 in mind, and keep an open mind, and we have to be flexible, and we will all have a better year if we can just kind of go, you know what, this is okay. We got to do some weird things, and we're going to make that happen. Look at our Moab event last year. We had to jump through some huge hoops, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's part of my resolution this year as well. The final thing on my list, well, I have a few others, but I'll jump to the end, and the end is more wheeling for me, because I went on one trip last year. Oh, hey, you have light.
It's yellow, but it's light.
It's getting dark outside for you guys.
It is.
Yeah.
It
The
is.
sun's going down. Is more wheeling, because I did the one major trip. I did Death Valley, and this next year it's going to be more. So I think I'm going to come out. I'll probably, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try to make the Moab trip. I think it'd be fun to do Moab again. It's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years since I've done Moab, huh?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
come out and do Moab again. Use one of Jeremy's rigs.
There you go.
And do Death Valley. I don't know if I'm off and on about Death Valley. That's I got to see if I can do that one or not. But the Gladiator's not quite ready. Hopefully I can have, I'm still waiting for my wheels. That's the biggest thing is, great sponsor wheel company come out and help us out, but they don't have inventory. So I'm waiting for the wheels. Hopefully I can have that built up and take it out of that. If it is ready, then maybe I'll come out and do that. And I definitely want to do the Colorado trip.
Definitely.
So if I can do that, but I think with that, I'll probably have to bring out Cloak 2 and bring it out. It might have the Hemi in it by then. I don't know if I told you that, but we are pulling out the LS and dropping a Hemi.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, we still need to get some. We're working at putting together the registration page for Colorado. I don't have an exact itinerary yet, so we're kind of working through that and to see what that looks like and time frame. But
Okay.
that'll be coming soon.
What's the prospective date on that? What are you guys looking at?
I think we were at
September.
I think we were talking about September.
Yeah, because I think you did put a tentative
September
date in the
16th.
calendar, huh? Okay.
September 16th.
Cool.
And again, it'll be a couple days, probably a 3-day wheeling trip, some mining towns. It'll be a blast.
Nice.
But Death Valley, I think we've only got a couple of spots open on the first trip. We've still got a few spots open on the second trip. Again,
So I got to get my registration in soon because
yeah, you better hurry up.
Where did I go? I go to ModernJeeperAdventures.com, right, Corey?
ModernJeeperAdventures.com, and we have registration up right now for Death Valley, for Tillamook, and for Moab.
Yeah.
So if you guys are planning on getting out, you better get in there because these are all limited numbers of people. We don't do this 100 Jeeps kind of thing. This is a family affair. So
it is, and it was so much fun. I think our first year doing Tillamook, where we had a small group, we were kind of planning on a much bigger group, but I think it worked out better that way. And I think we've experienced that because we had a big group our first year at Moab, and that was good. It was a great group of people, but I think breaking it down to a smaller, more intimate group, because our goal we're not trying to build a whole business around this. We're just trying to build an experience. And
Yes.
it was awesome. I think it was great, and you guys do a great job. So anybody who has any interest in going out, who has a Jeep, by the way, because I've received several messages recently from people with other than Jeep as their
Other
vehicle,
vehicles.
other vehicles. In which case, like Death Valley, I refer them over to Tom Severin at Badlands Off Road,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
he does Death Valley adventures all the time, and he is actually a Toyota guy. So that's totally fine. But so check out modernjeeperadventures.com, and maybe that'll be part of your resolution this year, friends, and is to go out in one of those trips and join us on an adventure of a lifetime.
Absolutely. Yeah. I look very forward to them because even for me, all of the underground, the backside work we do, putting these trips together, being able to share the experience with others, that's what it's all about. It's all about sharing the passion.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Sharing the passion. Well, I was going to say we have any tech toys want to show off, but I think you just showed yours off. You got to build that Jeep.
Yeah, I gotta build a Lego Jeep.
Yeah,
And
build a
maybe
Lego
we'll
Jeep.
put that on there for. I'll bring that out, and we'll do that on the 100th episode as well.
We'll take
How
pictures
awesome
of
is
us
that? 'Cause
building
didn't you do an article? Isn't there an article on Modern Jeeper about that, or was that
Yes.
just yeah? So
Yep.
you did that, and you ended up getting it. That's so cool. That is
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
what a cool present. What great friends.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, so we'll have to get that, and maybe we'll, like I said, we'll bring it out there. Guys, gals, everybody, all of our fans and friends. So again, 1 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, January 20th. We will be doing YouTube live at youtube.com/modernjeeper. This will be the reason for this. We almost forgot to tell everybody the reason for this.
Right.
Gosh, boy, almost missed out on the reason we're doing this. Besides it being the 100th episode, this is the annual Metalcloak Live event, and Metalcloak Live historically has been the giveaway for the Metalcloak I Resolve to Jeep giveaway. So years ago, when we saw other companies doing a bunch of Christmas stuff, we thought, we want to do the whole Christmas thing, the 12 days of Christmas and all that kind of stuff. That's all fun in games, but we decided, there are a lot of people that go through Christmas and didn't quite get what they wanted. So it's a new year, and you're resolving to Jeep. So part of our resolution, both Corey, Jesse, and myself have all said, hey, we're going to Jeep more this year. Well, you need to go out and pledge that I resolve the Jeep with Metalcloak. And to resolve the Jeep with Metalcloak, go to the link on our website. Just go to metalcloak.com. You'll see the banner up on the header there, and click on that link. And you must follow those rules. You follow all the steps there. And we made them real simple this year, because in the past you had to have a Facebook account or you had to have an Instagram account. But based on this last year, if you've dumped your Facebook account and dumped your Instagram account, I totally understand. So we've given you multiple options as to what you can do to follow the steps. But ultimately, you go to modernjeeperforum.com and you have to put your entry there. And then what we do is we go through and we will take all those entries. And then Corey, Jesse, and I on Wednesday, January 20th at 1 p.m. Pacific, we'll be doing the live show. And that's the live giveaway, which means we'll be BSing and talking like we do here about different stuff. And then throughout the show, we will give away swag. We will give away goodies and all kinds of things, including, it looks like we will give away a Lego Jeep. And we will also choose in reverse order your first, second, or third. So we'll choose the third place item that you put in there, the second place item for somebody, and the first place item for somebody. So you could win. We've given away complete suspension systems in the past. We've given away, fenders, bumpers, all kinds of stuff in the past.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thousands of dollars in giveaways. So you have to be watching the show and be a part of that, so you understand and learn what's going on, and boom, 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 and be able to get those goodies. So 1 p.m. on Wednesday, January 20th. But we made it much, much easier to be a part of the game. In fact, one step is just going and subscribing to this channel and subscribing to the Metalcloak YouTube channel, just so you are participating and supporting and helping us, but at the same time get a chance to win some great, great products from Metalcloak. So go to, again, metalcloak.com and to iresolvetojeep.com. That actual URL should be working fine. iresolvetojeep.com, and you will see the rules on how to follow. Go through it. You've got 2 weeks. It starts now. The deadline to enter is Monday, January 18th. And then the giveaway will be on Wednesday, January 20th. So excited. You guys are fading out there. You got just a little light coming off the bottom of your face.
I know it's getting really
It's
dark.
darker. Like,
All right, guys. Well, hey, Modern Jeepers. Corey, Jesse, anything you want to add?
No, I think that again, everybody out there, just try all you can. Try to do the things that you want to do that are important to you, and that's what 2021 is going to be all about. And make sure you go to metalcloak.com. I resolved a Jeep. Follow the instructions. It's a great giveaway.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as for all of our fans out there, if you're watching the show and you like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out at ModernJeeper.com, at ModernJeeperShow.com, at ModernJeeperAdventures.com. You can check out some of the great adventures coming up this year. You can reach Jesse at Metalcloak.com, Corey at Metalcloak.com, and me at Matson at Metalcloak.com. Thank you again for being a part of this. Thank you so much for helping us make 2020 such an incredible year. And to do so well and just have the growth that we've had with this fan base. Every one of you, we appreciate every one of you. And let's make 2021 an even better year.
Yes.
totally.
Cool. Fans, friends, Modern Jeepers, we'll see you on the trails.
Cheers.
See ya.